In honor of the big arena naming news today, we also have a naming rights announcement for this studio. So PHNX Suns is proud to present the All City Studio. Psychos and sickos unite for a Let's Hoop edition of PHNX Suns presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use code PHNX365. Deposit 10, place a bet for 5, and get $200 in bonus bets. We are finally at the eve of Phoenix Suns basketball, the eve of Phoenix Mercury finals basketball. We're getting that feeling in the air. It is October, and welcome into the show. I'm Erik Ruby. That's Stephen Prejean Garner. We got the Freckled Mamba, a.k.a. Juice Man, a.k.a. Fisherton, a.k.a. Ayrton, behind the Mac, making all of the magic happen. Big shout out to everybody in the chat so far. We got Sean, we got Ashley, we've got two MVPs who just joined. It's a group of Davids, David Rodish and David S. Thank you all so much for becoming MVPs. If you want to join them and get exclusive access to emojis, a special badge next to your name, a prepaid super chat every month, and so much fun, you can go ahead and hit that join button to join our supporters club. It's right next to the subscribe button, right next to our channel button. If you're doing it on mobile, I suggest doing it on the browser and not the app. Settle in, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, 5-star reviews on audio. Steven, we're at the eve of Phoenix Suns preseason basketball. We got a lot to get into today.
We do. We're going to start with ripping the Band-Aid off?
I think there's a couple Band-Aids that need to be ripped off. Before we get to the Jalen Green news, the good Ryan Dunn news, previewing the game, your keys to the game, my player to watch, everything of that nature. The Phoenix Suns and the Phoenix Mercury have a new arena name.
They do.
And it's quite an interesting one. Steven, where were you when the Mortgage Matchup Center became a reality? For those who are not familiar with Mortgage Matchup, it is owned by UWM, which is owned by Matt Ishbia, and they announced earlier today they will be the naming rights partner for what used to be Footprint Center, then turned PHX Arena, now turned the Mortgage Matchup Center. How do you feel about the MMC?
Well, if you're calling it the MMC and you're abbreviating it, I like it a whole lot more than
the Mortgage Matchup Center.
Yeah, that's a tongue twister, a bunch of other words you want to use as far as being a mouthful, but I mean, it is what it is. Like,
that is true. That is a fact.
Like,
it is what it is.
Like, is it it's not giving them better odds of winning the championship sooner or getting them more draft picks or, like, you know, increasing their cap space or anything like that. So I understand, you know, some of the reactions, but it is what it is. It's about the bag at the end of the day, and if the bag is there, the name is there.
Well, listen, I think it is objectively funny that this is a Matt Ishbia-owned property because it's like Matt's just taking money out of one pocket and put it into the other, and I think that's hilarious. Not that I think it's a bad move. I'm not mad at it at all. I just do think that it is objectively hilarious. That being said, I need these nicknames to continue to flow in. The Morgue, which I think is kind of lit on a couple different ways.
Fire.
The Morgue, either this team is dead or you walk in and you die. Welcome to the Morgue. The MMC, people are calling it the Matchup Center, which is probably my least favorite out of all of it. It doesn't have the same oomph that some of the great arena names have.
The Morgue would put it on par with those other arenas, in my opinion.
The Morgue kind of goes crazy.
Especially if your team plays to an identity that is havoc-wrecking defensively. And players don't have the most fun going up against that team. If that's the case and your arena name is the Morgue and you play with the lighting to match that in terms of the darkness and like I talked about, spotlighting the basketball court itself. There's ways to play to that, and I think that's very intriguing.
The MMC, the morgue. Now, when you call in from the arena, I'm going to say let's check in for our context check-in with Stephen Prejean Garner live from the morgue. You like that?
That's fair.
Okay. Everybody in the chat says the morgue is good. MMC is the way to go if we're not going with the morgue. I think we all have decided. I think PHNX Suns will officially refer to it as the morgue going forward.
I think Matt missed out on calling it PHNX.
I mean, we were calling it PHNX Arena. We could still call it that. Like, we don't have to call it the Mortgage Matchup Center. We could call it PHNX Arena. Nobody's stopping us. It would be kind of a power move for sure.
Also true.
But it wasn't the only news that came down today. Enough about naming rights. How about who's going to be playing there? Well, the Phoenix Suns did announce that they picked up the third-year option, of course, for Ryan Dunn. I mean, yeah.
Not shocking.
Duh.
But news nonetheless.
Nonetheless. Was there any reality where they don't do this?
Right, exactly. And there wasn't. And I think because of that, that's what makes it relevant. Though it was anticipated and expected, we don't always see the most anticipated and expected things happen as far as that goes. And I think because of that and the kind of climate that it's happening in, I feel like it's more relevant because it feels like a vote of confidence in multiple respects to not just what Ryan has showed, but also what he's done over this most recent offseason, his first offseason as an NBA player. And also with each and every one of the younger players, Kobe Brea, Kamal Maluach, Rasheer Fleming, all of those guys going out of their way to make sure they mention that Ryan Dunn and Oso Ighodaro have helped them in terms of leadership and steering them through the rigors of being a rookie that's trying to find his way on the professional stage while also trying to stake some resemblance of claim in the main rotation. So I think that's a lot of the goodwill that he's built up, and now that he's starting to see a return on investment with that. Yeah.
Speaking of Oso Ighodaro, some questions in the chat from Mario Napros 2 saying, no Oso though? So Oso's contract is a little bit different. Now, there is a club option for Oso Ighodaro, but not until 2027, 2028. Ryan had a club option in his third year. He also has a club option in his fourth year in 2027, 2028, and then will be a restricted free agent in 2028, 2029. Those contracts are different because Oso Ighodaro was a second-round pick, Ryan Dunn a first-round pick, and of course, even these contracts and how they're negotiated, there are some different intricacies as far as agents go, guarantees go, and things of that nature. So this does not mean that the Suns are like not in on Oso Ighodaro. They're clearly in on him. Just because you're not getting something in your inbox saying they picked up their club option. Well, there is no club option to pick up. He's there for the third year. And then going into the fourth year, that is where the club option comes into play. And then free agency, extensions, so on and so forth. So we'll get there in a second. Ryan Dunn will certainly be somebody that we are talking about when we are breaking down this preseason matchup, but somebody we will not be talking about, Steven, is Jalen Green. You spoke to Jordan Ott earlier today at training camp. He said that Jalen Green has a low-grade hamstring strain and will be out for tomorrow's game. The goal is to get him back for the start of the regular season. This is a guy who played 82 of 82 games the last 2 years, and all it took was one training camp in the cursed state of Arizona when it comes to basketball, besides the Mercury, for him to be injured. Is this concerning to you?
It's not. He mentioned it was mild, and he mentioned it was mild with an emphasis on mild, and that the recovery had already started. They had done tests earlier in the day that showed that he's getting his strength back with it as well. So it's something that obviously they're going to monitor with caution because it's not the regular season yet, but also because soft tissue injuries are typically ones that can sometimes be tricky to gauge. You might think it's a day-to-day thing, and it ends up day-to-day ends up turning into 30 days, which is a month. So I don't think it's going to be something that gets to that extent. But what I will say, though, when it comes to that with Jalen, you want to have had as much reps built up as possible between Booker and Green, between Green and all of the screeners and dribble handoff partners that he would have, and just generally building that rapport with the players on the floor that he's going to be spending time with. Jordan Ott did mention that he is not necessarily the hope that he's going to be ready by the end of preseason, But he said they would like to have him available for that last home game, just to get a little game sweat built up and just kind of reintegrate himself before things get serious in terms of the schedule and the regular season marathon.
A couple good points in the chat. Lenny, 18K, thanks for being here. Lenny says, so is Colin starting? It will be interesting to see who starts. Is it Colin Gillespie? Is it Grayson Allen, considering the fact that, according to reports from months ago from Gambo, Jalen Green's the starting point guard, not Devin Booker. So does a point guard slot in, or does another shooting guard slot in, Grayson Allen or Colin Gillespie? Or maybe it's somebody else. Is it Royce O'Neal? Is he a guy that starts? Who knows? It's also preseason. Another thing is, Mario Not Bros 2 coming at me in the chat for saying, think I went a little bit overboard with the headline, talking about critical preseason in game 1. Now, normally I would agree with you in that it's preseason, right? And, critical. And on the grand scheme of things, what happens tomorrow is not going to determine what this team does. But, Steven, this team has had so much change. And we mentioned how tough it is to not see Mark in game 1. That's not going to happen. We talked about that yesterday. They're working him up. We'll see if he even plays in the preseason. I would say probably not. Jalen Green, out tomorrow. I would honestly probably say likely out for the preseason. You don't want to rush him. If he does play a game, he would be playing back at home 48 hours after flying back from China because he is going to be making the trip.
Yep.
This is a critical preseason as far as at least what a preseason could get to, simply because of the fact there have been so many moving pieces. There's a first-time head coach, which we'll talk about with Jordan not here in a second. And this fan base, this state, this team is craving a good feeling on the court because they got left with a sour taste in their mouth. That's why I think tomorrow, and that's why I think these 4 games are critical, at least for the moment.
I struggle with critical a little bit just because, like, I understand where you're coming from with it, but I struggle with critical just a little bit just because it is just a preseason game.
I can change the headline right now.
I ain't saying we got to change it.
We change it. I could say everything you need to know about Phoenix Suns preseason game 1. We could take out critical if that's how we feel here.
No, for the purpose that it's serving, yes, but for what we're speaking to as far as what it entails for the team, I just struggle to put critical on like a preseason game. I think it's very, very relevant for sure. But
Phoenix Suns relevant preseason game 1. We like that?
No. You had it the way it is fine. I'm not talking about changing it. But I do think it matters because they have to lay that foundation. And this is the first opportunity to go up against someone that's not a Phoenix Sun player and not up against someone that's on the same team as you in some capacity. So it's important for sure. And I think when we hear from Jordan Knott and Ryan Dunn about the importance of it and what they're expecting from it, that'll kind of help to set the tone and paint a picture for how they're approaching it too.
Do they say it's critical?
I almost said something.
What'd you say?
No, it's not about to be positive.
No, come on, hit me, man. I'm a big boy.
Heavens no.
That's so funny. We're so, I love how different we are because you censored yourself from saying heavens no.
No, that's not what I was about to say.
What were you going to say? Don't hold back.
Heavens no.
Were you going to say something that we can't say?
Heavens no.
Now I need to know. Let's hear from Jordan Knott. You were able to talk to him earlier today and just asked about, what are the team expectations when it comes to preseason game 1?
It's always the big rocks is always the big rocks. Like us as a team, how we operate when adversity hits, how we're able to stop the other team's runs, how we're able to communicate with each other in times of adversity. And how we play, how hard we play. I think the compete level has been super high here these first couple of days. I don't expect anything less tomorrow when we go play someone else.
Now, when you break it down word for word and you look at the transcription, he starts each sentence off and it spells out critical. So, more or less, I'm just kidding. What did you have to take away from what he had to say?
That they're very eager to get to this first opportunity. It is a dress rehearsal in some respects, but they're treating it as more than that because there is so much newness that's going on with the team and the roster and style of play and all of that stuff, the integral things. So I like the attention to detail and the approach mentally that they're having with this. Is not just another day. It's just very much we've been chomping at the bit to go up against somebody that's not wearing the same jersey as us, and this is our first opportunity to do it. We're looking to seize that, but also allow for it to be a stepping stone, a building point for the team.
Well, I mean, it's critical for a lot of senses, as we've established here. As
But
Mario
say
not
that one more time.
okay,
This
fine.
episode-
I would say
no critical,
what Mario Not
no
Bros 2 said.
crucial, no none
How
of
about
that.
what this is what Mario Not Bros 2 said? Said everything you need to know about Phoenix Suns do or die preseason game 1 versus Lakers.
Yeah, must
Steven,
win.
yeah, I'm about to
preseason
say,
game
do you
one.
think would
Yeah.
you consider this a must win
and
game?
a gotta have it? Yeah,
A must win and a gotta have it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you every single game if it's a must win game. We should have oh
No, we shouldn't. Whatever you just thought of, no, we shouldn't.
we should have a must win meter. No, dude, tell me that doesn't go hard. The must win meter for
it's about to be
for pregame?
It's about to be the low side of it until April.
I don't know, dude. The first 3 games, like game 1, I'd call that a must win. I need a win. Every game
You need a win, not
Yes.
about the team.
I need a win. We need a win. Ayrton, is game 1 against the Kings, October 22nd, not a must-win game?
Every game's a must-win game.
Thank you.
But
Somebody understands me.
The idea with the must-win meter is incredible. And
I think we got to do it.
And I think the way we do it is each of us give our must-win score on a 0 to 10 scale,
Okay.
and we give them anonymously, and then we average them out.
Average it out.
And then that's where the meter goes.
I don't know, because Steve's going to be like negative 15. It's going to pull it all the way back. Oh, the must win.
pH,
You know what we do?
The pH, I'm balancing everything out.
Here's what we
Exactly.
do. And this is show planning. This is inside baseball here. We have a graphic, right? Walk with me, Freckle Mamba. 3 different meters, okay? And it's our must-win meters, and it's for each of us. And each of us can do that, and then we can average it out in real time and say where does this stand as far as the must-win meter. Like Clippers game 2, must win. Denver game 3, must win. Houston early November, must win. Houston early December,
That
must
Monday
win.
night against Utah,
Must win.
must win.
Monday night, 12 p.m. tip. Yeah, no. Must win meter goes crazy. We're absolutely going to do it. Mario Not Bros is cooking in the chat right now. Says Erik, quote, I'm going to temper my expectations this season to avoid disappointment. Also, Erik, this preseason game is a must win. Welcome to the Erik Ruby fan experience. Okay. Listen, this is just life with Erik Ruby. Jordan
Telling
on.
them or me,
Jordan
because
on.
Lord knows I don't need to be told that.
Jordan on. Come on, dude. Let's stay on track.
Yeah,
here.
me. Yeah, right. Me.
Jordan Ott, if you could stop goofing around. It'll be his first time coaching an NBA game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so much pressure on him in this critical do-or-die must-win preseason game 1. So this is what he's looking forward to as a first-time head coach.
Oh my! I think I think it's just another day in the process. I think we know we've done well here this first week, and then just evaluating. You're evaluating everything from how your group reacts to the first point of adversity, to how your staff communicates as us, like in the huddles, in the locker room, in the post-game locker room, what we do the next day. I think all those processes are good to go through as a new group, players and staff. So I think some of those things I look forward to working out the kinks to then be ready to go at the end of October.
So all of the button pushing, string pulling, all the preparation, all the in-game adjustments, he's chomping at the bit for all of those things, and to do it with his group to start turning the wheels and getting the rhythm and the cadence and the feel of things down. I don't think anybody's surprised that everything he's shown to be by the things that he said and what he's expecting in preseason game 1, it all aligns for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We're all aligned here. Obviously, they're all aligned over in Suns land. You know, we did our preseason things to watch, and we both mentioned like the offensive philosophies, the offensive execution, defensive principles, and how they play. That to me is why I get it. And guys, I get the critical stuff and I understand the talk about it, but like last year preseason, not that I couldn't care less. It's Suns basketball. It's everything to me. This means everything, right? The preseason this year is different. The youth of this team a first-time head coach, all the different moving pieces, a preaching of a philosophy that they need to hold themselves to in the preseason to establish a foundation for the regular season. Like, these are things that even without Jalen Green playing, even without Mark Williams playing, presumably Devin Booker's not going to play that much. You are most likely going to see some of your two-way guys, your rookies, and all of that, no matter what. That still matters so much more to this team now than it did 365 days ago when you had an average age of like 45 on the roster and a championship level head coach. So I get why people are hesitant to say it. At the end of the day, it's a preseason game. I put less stock even in the China games than I do here. Sorry, China. I don't mean to disrespect you, but like they don't matter. They're overseas and they are playing at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. local time. We're going to cover them. Maybe they matter on little intricacies. I doubt we'll see a ton of guys play in those. So Freckle Mamba talking our men's league in the chat, saying he didn't want to talk about it anymore, but he's getting into the weeds in the chat. No, he's not looking at me, Sean. I played great yesterday. I'll have you know, Sean. We're not talking about that. Who needs to play great against the Lakers? What are the keys to the game? How do they match up against LA with former Suns center DeAndre Ayton? We're going to get into that. We're going to get into players to watch, what Ryan Dunn is looking forward to with his personal game, and maybe a little bit more preseason preview beyond that. And we're going to get to that after our first break. Gotta love Gila River Resorts and Casinos because they do everything. And guess what? We told you about the Straight Game podcast before. They had Shaquille O'Neal live. I was there. It was awesome. Well, guess what? The Straight Game podcast is back. It gets better because now they're doing a crossover with All the Smoke.
But who?
All the Smoke.
Hosted by who?
Matt Barnes. Steven Jackson. All the Smoke. Straight Game. I mean, genuinely incredible. Mike Bibby, Eddie House, Coach Ty Ellis. This is the meeting of a basketball minds. And this Friday, October 3rd at 7:30 p.m., there's a lot going on this Friday. Straight Game Podcast returns to Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Wild Horse Pass from buzzer beaters to bold takes. This is basketball unfiltered. This is your courtside pass to raw stories, real talk, and the kind of insider moments you won't hear anywhere else. Tickets start at $10. It can be found at playatgila.com. And as always, you do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos is at playatgila.com for more details. Why, thank you, Steven. I do look good today, and I appreciate you acknowledging that. That's because this shirt's from Rally House, baby. And guess what? This is a Rally House shirt that was purchased pre-Rally House partnership with PHNX. That is how much I mess with Rally House because they have cool shirts like this. I'd never seen a shirt like this before until I walked through the doors of the Rally House location at Tempe Marketplace. And they don't just have locations in Tempe. They have Mesa and Glendale as well. Plus, of course, you can go online at rallyhouse.com to get all your game day needs. Shirts, shorts, hats, drinkware, signage, coolers, socks, jerseys, even sunscreen. They have it all at Rally House, and the best part is it's all local. I hate when local stores cater to non-local sports teams. That is not my vibe, and that's why Rally House is. So find your local Rally House location, shop their entire product assortment online at www.rallyhouse.com, and maybe one day you can look as good as me.
The shirt is fire, though.
The shirt is pretty fire. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, become a member, become a diehard, rate 5-star reviews and audio. There's just a whole lot of ways to support the boys here on PHNX Suns. As Aiden says, go Suns, go Merc. Steven, tomorrow you will be covering game 1 of the WNBA Finals. We'll be doing a watch along here on the channel, which your boys also going to be on because I love me some Merc basketball. And then, of course, guess what? We're going to be doing a watch-along for the Suns game, too. A watch-along for the preseason Suns game. No pregame show, but 2 watch-alongs. Mercury at 5, Suns at 7. Then a postgame show for Mercury that you and Erik will be holding down. And then Espo and I will be holding down the Phoenix Suns watch-along and the postgame show with old Fisherton here behind the Mac, making all of the magic happen. Film breakdown coming soon on Jalen Green. So even though he's not going to be playing in this preseason game and possibly in any preseason game, you can get to know his game a little bit better with the Steven studies. That'll be coming out, Saturday? Putting that out Saturday?
Honest look at Jalen Green's game. We haven't seen enough honesty about what it is that he has as potential as a 23-and-a-half-year-old, closer to 24 now, that just came off of his first ever playoff showing. And his gift of a first playoff showing was to have to go up against a savant like Draymond Green defensively. Not easy. Most guards are not going to succeed in that because the Warriors are going to make sure you're going up against Draymond and only Draymond in pick and roll when he's on the court.
Yeah.
That context matters. Haven't heard enough people mentioning that. So we are going to be honest about his game, the positives, the negatives, and everywhere in between, but also how the Rockets didn't do him the best service on using him in that series. So stay on the lookout for that. We had some fun with that one. Shout out to Erik for producing that joint.
Well, honestly, I'm excited to take a look at all that. If you're in a diehard Discord, you got a little behind the scenes action from Erik, who gave you a little look as to what it looks like from his chair and what he's doing. You can become a diehard today. Go phnx.com/join. We do have a discount right now, $36. You can become a diehard for the full year. It's the perfect time to get in for Phoenix Suns fans. Let's go ahead and do some segments that we would do in a regular pregame show, since we won't have a pregame show tomorrow, Steven. And one of the things that I love that we introduced last year were your keys to the game. So for this critical, must-win, do-or-die preseason game one, what are your 3 keys to the game?
Yeah, we getting into it. First thing, most important thing for me, establishing the foundations of play on both ends of the floor. So offensively, the movement, the flow, the ball movement, touches for certain guys in certain areas of the floor. Starting to iron out the kinks with that. Key number 2, or also on the defensive end, a lot of talk about the wings and their ability to be interchangeable and that lessening the load for them on the ball, but also supplementing everybody with help and support around the ball. Fun to hear about it. Now it's time to see about it and them guarding their yard. Key number 2 for me, getting meaningful minutes for the top end guys. Naturally, you have 2 of the 6 or 7 top end guys that I would consider top end. You still have some pieces in that are going to be relevant to everything that this team desires success-wise this season. Opportunity for those players to kind of start to build that rapport on the floor in game type of scenarios. And then key number 3 for me is getting a gauge on the young guys. So obviously you want to check off those first 2 boxes, but preseason is also fun for the sickos when they're able to find that opportunity to give the young guys a little bit more of a runway than they typically would. So you can get a real gauge on what it is that they have. But it's also not just kind of a passive game because there's players on the other team that are vying for one of those final roster spots. So players are playing with something that's meaningful in mind. Some players trying to not be on the 2-way and just get converted outright to the big league roster. So there's some fun to gauge things from with the Suns this season and naturally with the teams that they're going up against as well.
So let's go key by key. Yeah. Key 1, establish foundations of play on both ends. What are a couple of the little things within those keys that you're going to be looking for that you expect to see from what Jordan and company have told you?
The first one for me, and that's just establishing their foundations of play. They've talked about running their actions, running their plays, getting into the multiple concepts that they want to cycle through consistently as a part of their foundation. But they also talked about how hard that becomes because the people you're going up against are the people that are running the same thing when they're on the offensive end of the floor. So it gets hard, it gets tricky, it makes you think outside the box with that. There's obviously positives with that because as teams get film, they're going to start to anticipate and take things away as well. But it's going to be refreshing for them, like they've all mentioned, to just have that opportunity to go up against someone else that is not as knowledgeable about the things that you desire to do when you get to the ball in certain pockets and things like that. So I'm looking forward to that, but on both ends of the floor. Don't want to ignore the defensive side.
I think the thing I'm actually looking forward to the most is the defensive. When you talk about establishing foundations of play on both ends, offense is something that's going to come with time, right? Chemistry, organizationally, what works, what doesn't work. Sometimes you don't really know until you get on the court. And while that is true with defense, there's a certain foundational level of defense that is literally just effort, hustle, trying, grit, communication. And those are things that you shouldn't have to work into. They should just happen. So I think in preseason specifically, I'm looking at the defense more than the offense, especially because we're missing 2 very key pieces to that offense in Jalen Green and Mark Williams, which takes us to key 2, which is get meaningful run for top end guys. Where's the cutoff for you as far as top end guys? Because obviously 2 are out, and then we would assume that last game right? And this could be for all of preseason, and obviously this is looking for tomorrow. So like Book will play, but looking forward, how much is Devin Booker going to play? Like, where do you cut off top end guys, and why is it so important for them to get run?
Yeah, I probably cut it off at Colin and Grayson, and I cut it off there because I'm going with the starting five, the deemed starting five, that is. And then you have whichever one of those two you think is the sixth man. I think they'll be kind of alternating at times depending on matchups and depending on if anyone is out of the lineup, if one of those two players is Devin Booker or Jalen Green. So I'll probably cut it off after Colin or Grayson, whichever one of those two in your eyes is the sixth man. But I go with that top six for the most part.
Yeah, I think Grayson and Colin are definitely interesting. I think it's going to be a really interesting preseason for Colin, especially if he is the guy that gets the starting nod alongside Devin Booker to see what he can do, what can translate. Obviously, it's not the same as playing like a regular game, but I still find that fascinating.
Question for you.
Go ahead.
I'm very curious about this. So we don't know exactly what the starting lineup is because we don't get to see practice. We get to see the post-practice individual workouts, group shooting, group workout things, but no 5-on-5. Might he pull a quote-unquote rabbit out the hat and throw another wing into the starting lineup? So it's Devin Booker and wings. Plus, let's just say it's Nick Richards.
And I feel like I mentioned this at the beginning of the show, but like throw Royce in there or
Rasheer. Obviously, you can still throw in Nigel with that mix as well.
Nigel for sure. Aiden says, is Jalen Green not playing yet? So Jalen Green, diagnosed with a low-grade hamstring strain, told Steven and other reporters from Jordan Knott earlier today he's not going to play tomorrow. He's going to make the trip to China, but would assume, because Jordan Knott said the goal is to get him ready by the start of the regular season, I would assume it would be pretty limited action in the preseason and probably just that last game, but that last game is right after they fly back from China. It's terrible scheduling, so they'll probably be cautious the same way they're being cautious with Mark Williams, especially because Jalen's the kind of guy who plays a lot of games. So yeah, that does suck. I thought you were talking about instead of Mark Williams, will they start a wing?
Oh, no.
Because it's
not
like
instead of Mark Williams.
So do we think Nick Richards gets the start? Do we think Oso Ighodaro gets the start? Or do we think Kamal Malawach gets the start?
I think Nick Richards gets the start.
I think it might be Oso.
You think it might be Oso?
I think it might be. It's because it's.
You gotta consider who the Lakers have playing. No LeBron, he's out. Something pertaining to being a little bit older of a player, and an injury kind of in alignment there, and they're just being more cautious with him. So they have Aiden, they have Luka, Austin Reeves, and they have some filler pieces that'll be kind of in that mix. I imagine Jake LaRavia might be starting potentially. That's a fun group of guys. You want some wings out there if you're going up against Luka and the rotations that are demanded if you're going up against him based off of the coverages you have to give. So that's why I threw the wing piece out there if Jalen's not out there. Upsizing rather than staying same size or downsizing some.
What about this? Because also like Grayson and Colin are presumably just going to be coming off the bench and going to be your main pieces off of the bench. So maybe get them familiar with that.
Yep.
What if it's Book, Dunn, Royce, or Rasheer, Brooks, and Oso? You know, I think they start Oso in this game because it is preseason, and I like Nick Richards a little bit more of a known quantity, and Nick Richards also likely caps out as a good backup center. Oso Ighodaro feels like the kind of guy whose ceiling is higher, and I think has a good chance of slotting into that starting role if Mark Williams is injured. And I think you might want to see what he has with that group and see what he has with some of the higher end guys, especially in this game when we don't know how more often those guys are going to play throughout the rest of the preseason. I wouldn't be shocked if Oso starts. I wouldn't be shocked if Nick starts. It would be shocking if Kaman starts. But I do expect Kaman to play.
Kaman definitely will play. I see where you're coming from with it. I just feel like they might be wanting to create more of the look that they're anticipating having with Mark Williams because he's kind of on ice, if you will.
Yeah.
Just to get by and them doing that process diligently. But we'll find out around this time tomorrow. What is it, 5 or 3:30? We'll probably know in about 25 hours.
Yeah. Starting lineup we probably won't get until
26 and a half.
we probably won't get starting lineup until like 6:30 AZ
Mhm.
time because usually we are in pregame, and I still remember all last year. It's like, is
Yeah.
Tyus Jones starting? Is Tyus Jones starting? Is Tyus Jones starting? Our live reaction.
Well, that's Tyus Jones, but it's Ryan Dunn starting.
Yeah, is Ryan
But
Dunn
yes, Tyus
starting?
included with that.
It will be interesting. And then just the final thing, and we kind of touched on it with Kaman, but get a gauge on the young guys.
Mhm.
Kaman, Rasheer, Brea, I would assume gets a little bit of run, maybe a little CJ Huntley, maybe a little Isaiah
I think
Livers.
a lot of the guys that are on two-way deals or got the deals at the end of the offseason right before a training camp via that the trade that happened on a G League level. All those guys are going to get some type of burn, and it's just a matter of what they do with the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to be the most likely to be a quote-unquote darling of the preseason? Who do you think?
Jared Butler.
You think so?
Probably.
Okay.
He's played real NBA minutes again on a bad team. He's a point guard, and I think he's a good decision maker. So he'll probably be the kind of guy he's trying to earn a full contract. He's trying to earn a spot, whether it's with the Suns or not with the Suns. So I feel like Butler's going to be one of those guys, but like that's not the fun answer. I think the fun answer is Kobe Brea.
Ayrton, you got any names in mind for darlings or guys that you think are going to steal some attention?
I think this name is already very much prevalent in this fan base, but nationally, I don't think Nigel Hayes Davis has gotten as much recognition as he should, and I think this preseason is a small chance for him to prove what he really can do at the NBA level.
Yeah, Nigel will be fun to watch in some real action because obviously we didn't get to see him in summer league because he's 30. So it'll be nice to see. Although one of the teams that the Suns played, they were playing against somebody who was like 30, some bald dude. Yes, John Elmore. Dude is such a John Elmore. Like you look at a guy like that guy's last name is Elmore. Okay,
I'll throw a name out there. Damian Bow.
Wow.
So I'm throwing his name out there because last season I saw him guarding literally 1 through 5. And if we're talking about a team that wants to lean into defensive versatility, a lot of things in a positive light being said about the versatility of their wings. He's more on the guard side, but he's 6'4" that can punch out of that weight class and punch up.
Are you talking just as a guy who's like, okay, this will be something to maybe keep some eyes on?
No, just someone that's going to get attention, maybe a little bit more attention than they're going into preseason with. Okay. So all of the names we mentioned matter with that. I wanted to give a little light to someone that's a little lower on the spectrum.
Yeah. I'm excited for a lot. I'm excited for Suns basketball. I'm excited for Mercury basketball. I'm excited to introduce a new segment. We've got your keys to the game. Well, now what about Erik Ruby's player to watch? We're going to do that and more right after our second break.
Pump fake.
We are behind. But you know who's ahead of the game? It's Bet365 because it's never ordinary. Over at Bet365, they've got action for everything. For WNBA, for NBA, for NFL, for MLB, for NHL, for college sports. They literally have everything. What about Thursday night touchdown? Listen, it's easy. Place qualifying parlay bets totaling $20 or more on Thursday night game and get bonus bets for every single touchdown. What about same game parlay Sundays? Well, that's awesome. That's easy with Bet365. And right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Sign up, use code PHNX365, deposit 10, place a bet for $5, and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 plus and physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP, text NEXT STEP to 53342, or visit problemgambling.az.gov. Why, yes, I do look good today. Thank you for saying so, Steven. And it's not just the shirt, but of course it's the hat. This is a Branded Bills hat. Not only does it look good, but I feel good because Branded Bills has me covered, has you covered, has us covered with performance and style. I'm rocking with an ASU hat right now. Of course, they have partnerships with 40 universities, none more important than your Arizona State Sun Devils. But of course, they also have partnerships with PHNX, and they can have a partnership with you because they do custom apparel, whether it's snapbacks, truckers, fitted beanies, or a tee, they have you covered in every single sense. They also partner with the Phoenix Suns. They're a local company out of Mesa, Arizona, and they are just skyrocketing. Plus, we want to give you, they want to give you, we all want to give you 15% off your first order. All you have to do is head to brandedbills.com. That's brandedbills.com and use code BBPHNX for 15% off your first order. Shout out Melissa, you're in the chat. Deborah, Ashley, Sean, Corey, everybody hanging out with us here on a Thursday. Miss Nisha, Freckle Mamba, Mario Not Bros 2, Aiden. I feel like I didn't say Corey, or I did, but I'm going to say Corey again. Double shout out to Corey. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for hitting that like button. We'll have to hit another break here pretty soon because we just love talking ball and we got distracted. But before we hit our final break, how about a new segment alert? Pew, 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 pew. You can feel the energy in this room right now. Palpable. The PHNX player to watch for this game, and I'll be doing it for every game, but for this game alone, it is Ryan Dunn. Now, what 3 things am I watching with Ryan Dunn? Thank you for asking, Steven. Offensive creation, frequency of fouls, and rebounding. Are those a fair 3 things to be watching for in this first preseason game from Ryan Dunn?
I think they're fair. Especially if you can only choose 3 things, I think that's a very fair kind of gauge and assessing of Ryan for sure.
I think I'm focusing on strengths and weaknesses, right? Obviously, a strength last year that I noticed a lot was the rebounding, was the nose for the ball, and with an emphasis from this team, from Jordan Ott, and from an organizational standpoint with Brian Gregory and Matt Ishbia, that rebounding is going to be key for this team, and Ryan Dunn is going to be playing power forward for this team, or small forward, but probably a little bit of both, depending on where Dillon Brooks is. And I think if we're talking about crashing offensive rebounds or boards in general, Ryan Dunn is going to be more the guy who has that type of activity than a Dillon Brooks, who will likely be matched up against whoever's shooting the ball more often than not than Ryan Dunn might be. So how does he rebound? How does he navigate that? How does he run around? And does he make his presence known in that sense, right? Then the frequency of fouls, that's a weakness, especially going up if he does get matched up against Luka, if he is playing against Austin Reeves. These are 2 guards that are very good at creating fouls, at drawing fouls, at doing a whole lot of BS that is part of the offensive game in the modern NBA. If Ryan's going to be the kind of guy that could be put on maybe a quicker, smaller guard for a POA while Dillon Brooks takes the bigger guy, that's the best defender is needed for, he needs to not foul. I mean, it was early in the season, like James Harden gets on him last year, and it's like 2-3 early fouls for Ryan Dunn, and he can't play, right? Like that just can't happen. He's too valuable for this team this year for him not to be on the court. So frequency of fouls, even in preseason, is something that I want to see. And then, of course, offensive creation. That's totally encapsulating. Like, are you shooting well? Are you dribbling well? Are you penetrating? Are you finishing off of a pick and roll, which is something that we saw him do effectively, but was disrupted by Mike Budenholzer's BS all last year? Where are you as far as offensive role on this team? And can you do a little off the dribble? Not just shooting, but can you make a pass off a dribble? Can you make a pass off of a short roll? Can you set a good screen? Like, what are you creating on offense, along with are you able to stay on the floor on defense? Those are things that I feel like are imperative for Ryan Dunn.
Ayrton, we are all pro Ryan Dunn on this show. I'm curious for you, what are you looking for or looking forward to from him?
I think just how he fits in with Dillon Brooks on the defensive side. I was going through kind of like my preseason like matchups, and I was thinking like, oh, obviously we're gonna have Ryan Dunn on Luka, and then Booker's gonna be on Austin Reeves. And then I was like, wait, is it actually gonna be Dunn, or is Dillon Brooks gonna get the Luka assignment? So long-winded way of, I guess, saying I'm just excited to see those two and have Ryan Dunn not being our only point of attack defender.
I like it a lot. I caution, and I think you brought up a good point with how he's defending with Dillon Brooks. So last season, Dillon Brooks spent a lot of time defending with another younger athlete that's a dog at the point of attack.
Reed Shepherd.
Fred VanVleet. No. I'm speaking to Amen Thompson.
Right.
And he came onto the scene, obviously, in his rookie season for just being a demon at the point of attack. He went and took that to a different level, an all-NBA level last season defensively. I'm very curious about what his relationship with Ryan Dunn is going to become defensively, because Dillon Brooks is a player that has and can and probably will continue to be used in unique ways. Dillon Brooks is someone that spent a lot of time guarding centers last season. And what that did for the person that was playing center for the Rockets is put them on a non-shooter, and now pick and rolls with the center that's on the opposing team, because Brooks is there to become a natural switch. You alleviate the pressure of your point of attack defense, but you also give them less areas to poke at offensively. And then you have the center undoing matchups and things like that behind that. I wonder how much of that Jordan Knott and company leans into. Maybe it's not a preseason game one thing per se, but if that's something that you ultimately want to get to long term, this is why I think that Nick Richards starting gives them more of a look of, if Mark Williams is playing, we can still get into some of the same things that we're going to need to do with Mark, and we can start ironing out those kinks in process.
We got Zach Bossy in the chat asking about the men's league, not answering.
Man, Zach, I need you to pull up more often after a game that the fellas had the night before.
So we'll say this. We played round one, dominated. We dominated round one.
Is the same team where his guy is on?
And the team that his guy is on, they
Is it 2-3
won.
team?
I don't know if they ended up winning the whole thing. So we were in the game before the championship game.
Mm-hmm.
This is a team that beat the crap out of us a week ago, and we lost by a lot less this time, which I guess no moral victories though. But I would not say they play ethical hoops. Would you agree, Ayrton, that the team that we played they don't play ethical hoops?
I am an ethical hooper, and what I played yesterday was not ethical hoops.
Yeah. That's
we'll leave it at that.
Very annoying brand of basketball to have to play, especially if there's no contracts on the line.
Yeah.
And you're in turn actually paying to play and you're grifting. Yeah, that's not ideal at all.
Credit to them. They have some very good basketball players on that team. They have some very skilled basketball players on that team. They do. They had some good.
Ayrton said you're giving them way too much.
If they beat us twice, Ayrton, and they're not good, then what does that make us? I will say this.
That makes them lucky.
I will say this. There was one guy specifically, not your guy, Zach, that did nothing. He was clearly their worst player and went over to start trash-talking Ayrton while we weren't even in the game about something that happened to somebody else. And Ayrton kind of checked him a bit, and it was really funny. Good. It was really funny. But
good.
Anyway.
The loudest is always the weakest.
Yeah, literally. Corey Sanders says, can we get a YouTube video posted? No, because the season is over. We were not recording anything. But we talked about Ryan Dunn. We'll hear Ryan Dunn talk about what he's looking forward to personally with this game, and we will give our score predictions as we wrap up a pre-game edition of PHNX Suns here on PHNX Sports. We'll do it right after our final break. I'll tell you what you can do, Corey. You can't get a video of our pickup game, but you can stop at Circle K, and you can get a great deal if you are a part of the Inner Circle. But the best part is, this Inner Circle you can get into for free, and they want you to be a part of this Inner Circle. All you have to do is download the Circle K app, put in your phone number, put in your email, and boom, you're saving money. But what are you saving money on? I'm glad you asked, Steven. I'm glad you said that. You get a 79-cent Polar Pop, you get a 99-cent Froster, 3 for $5 Gatorades, or you can get 3 to 5 cents off per gallon on every single fill-up, 25 cents off per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups, or it could be an Inner Circle Fuel Day. You get 40 cents off your entire gallon or each gallon for your fill-up. Sorry, Zach Bossy is distracting me, but don't get distracted from the wonderful deals that you can get at Circle K. Join the Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Get meal deals and everything of the sort. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for full details. And I read the wrong second ad before. I read Brandon Bill. Now it's time to read Mountain American Credit Union, because I love Mountain American Credit Union, because guess what? They are the exclusive home of the Suns card, and they're the official credit union of the Phoenix Suns, available with both a debit and credit card. Pair the Suns debit card with the My Style checking account to unlock extra benefits that we've been telling you about, like restaurant deals, mobile phone protection, telehealth access, identity protection, loan rate discounts, offers on travel and events, and so much more. Or you can do it as a credit card, a no annual fee credit card that you can get as low rate, cashback, or a rewards card option. Mountain America is here to guide you forward on your financial journey. Go get your Suns card today. Apply at any Arizona branch. Visit macu.com/Suns to learn more. Insured by NCUA. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply. Loans are on approved credit. Big shout out to everybody in the chat hanging out with us here on a Thursday. Really excited for tomorrow for a lot of reasons. Mercury game, Mercury watch along, Mercury post game show, Suns watch along, Suns post game show. Super, super fun. Charles asked, who at PHNX is going to cover the Suns during home games? This guy.
Me.
This guy.
I didn't know you was going to the one shot that quick.
This guy. And Zach wants to play one-on-one when you're back. I'll play you one-on-one, Zach. I'll play you one-on-one. I want to say something about this guy. It's going to be really mean.
Uh-oh.
No. This guy asks the most impressive questions and has just done an absolutely incredible job already stepping into that role and doing it on short notice. And it is going to be awesome to have him at the arena. It's absolutely much deserved. The grind, if you know that he's been doing it for a long time, like he's been going to the Merc games, he's been going to Sky games, he's covered Suns games for us before. This dude has absolutely earned the opportunity to be in the building for every single home game for the Suns this season, and he will be. And it will be awesome, and it will add an incredible element to our show. So everybody say good job, Steven. And we are excited for what I am deeming the context check-in on our post-game shows.
I appreciate all of those very kind and thoughtful words, my guy. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
It's just a hustle, man.
It is.
Everything's
but
a hustle.
It's like there's hustle. Like, yes, it's hustle, but it's also like there's talent. Like, it's not just hard work.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there's hard work, but like, listen, I work hard. I don't understand basketball on the same level that you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a talent and there's an intelligence to it. So it's a special combination that very few people have, and very few people get to be in that building doing that. So it's very much a hashtag earned, not given.
Sure.
Type
I appreciate
of thing.
that, man. Thank you.
Charles asks, if he's in the arena,
love in the chat too. I see y'all. I appreciate it. I can't respond to everybody, but I appreciate all of y'all. Thank you so much.
Charles said, if he's at the arena, who else is going to be on the show? I can't watch if it's only an Erik show.
You can.
Thanks, Charles. You can. You won't have to though, so don't worry about it. This Friday will be Espo, and we're gonna be seeing a lot of Espo going forward. It's gonna be super fun. Espo and I always have a lot of good times, and he's a great voice in the Suns community. And then we'll see going forward what else we can do. But yes, everybody hit your wahs in the chat. Wah. Wah. Michael Evans says Green hurt already. Yes, Jalen Green is out with a low-grade hamstring strain. For those listening on audio, I get it. We're saying the same thing over and over again, but people are asking, so I'm going to say it. Let's get into what Ryan Dunn said he's personally looking forward to with his game in preseason game 1.
Just looking to just try to be aggressive, get into the rim, continue to shoot the ball, probably just making reads, but depending on what lineup I'm in, just, being aggressive in all areas, just trying to improve and show my proof for every step, but not worrying about results, what happens, continue to grow and learn from the game. It's preseason stuff that we're able to go out and just mess around and learn from these mistakes that we're going to make, so just learn from them.
I mean, I would say short and sweet, but it was short because he talks at such a cadence.
He's quick.
He's not quite Matt Ishbia, but he's second to Matt in terms of that kind of the twitchy speaking cadence that he talks with.
Can you rank fast talkers? Matt Ishbia, Ryan Dunn, Erik Rubio.
No, it's Matt Ishbia gap, and then another gap, and then you,
okay,
and then a gap, and then Ryan
Dunn. Okay,
yeah. So you're second between those two. Which if you listen to a podcast with just y'all three, you would think you had the
2 times speed.
Yeah, easily the 2 times speed. But no, I think I think he said a lot of what you've been talking about as far as him being your player to watch in the game, and that's finding ways to get downhill, playing with confidence, being aggressive defensively, not worrying about making mistakes, but also being cautious of not repeating mistakes that kept him away from playing a full breadth of minutes last season, and just establishing good habits all around.
I didn't realize we changed Mike Budenholzer's name to repeating mistakes. Yes, was Ryan Dunn perfect last year, but he wasn't given a leash, right?
For sure.
And all of these guys should get some sort of leash, especially early in the season, because how are you going to get better if you are not given that leash? But it's easy to have that in the preseason, but not in a must-win, critical, do-or-die preseason game. I'm so leaning into that tomorrow. It's going to be so funny. So the moment of truth, Steven, we both agree that this is a must-win. We both agree that this is critical.
It's a gotta have it.
It's a gotta have it.
Critical, crucial,
do or die. Preseason
all
game
that.
1 for the Phoenix Suns. So the question is, do they win?
I think they do.
What is the score?
Man, that is such an impossible question to answer for a preseason
you have
game.
to. I can't say all these nice things about you, and then you can't give me a score prediction.
I'm going to throw 116 to 105 out there. Just throwing numbers out there. But
116 to 105. Suns win?
Suns win. What I think is going to be the difference, the separator, if you will, is the Suns have a bunch of blue-collar dudes.
Yes.
And I think that is something that, again, they're talking about chomping at the bit to get to that first opportunity to go up against someone that's not themselves. I think they're going to have a certain type of urgency that is not going to be met by a veteran-heavy Lakers roster. Like, I feel like they're going to be ahead of the process in terms of approaching the game with a certain type of urgency that maybe the Lakers just don't have, because you have LeBron James on your roster. You also have Luka Doncic. No slight to either one of those.
Why else might they not have a sense of urgency with somebody on the roster?
I'm not going there. What I'm saying is, when you have those two guys, your approach to the preseason is it's a little more process-oriented, but it's also more – it kind of ends with the main rotation of guys, where I feel like the Suns have more guys that are trying to make a name for themselves with the Suns' purple jerseys on, or whatever color jersey it is they're wearing tomorrow.
I think it's going to be an ugly game. I think this is going to be an ugly game. I'm thinking 101 to 93 Suns win. And I will say this on a little side note. That's a little side note. I'm seeing posts. I'm seeing Lakers fans calling DeAndre Ayton the top 5 center in the NBA.
I mean, that's what they do every season.
But,
Jackson Hayes had a moment where they thought he was going to be one of those dudes. And then you saw what happened in the playoffs, and he didn't play for, that's what they do. This is not, new.
The crash out, though.
This is not,
I hear you. Out is going to be, I'm not upset at them doing that. I expected that. I knew that, right? By the way, Corey's saying, can you believe he said he's finally in a place where basketball matters like he wasn't in the finals? That was a crazy quote. Bradley Beal saying he can't wait to take on a reduced role for the Clippers and play defense, right? DeAndre Ayton is saying he's finally playing basketball.
Like
that matters.
Said, man, this media day, people talking
beat
crazy.
The Lakers in the playoffs.
Media day get guys talking crazy sometimes.
Dude, the generational crash out from Lakers fans in December.
I'm not going to lie.
Over DeAndre Ayton's going to be wonderful. It's going to be wonderful.
I feel you. I hear you.
Sean says, wait, DA said what? Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, though. I think this situation is as good as it can get for DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah.
And because of that, I don't know. Well, not even I don't know. I don't think he reaches top 5 center in the league status.
No chance.
I don't think
no chance.
If we're talking about the fifth best center last season in some capacity was Ivica Zubac.
Yeah, Zubac eats his
and
lunch.
That's because of both sides of the floor. I just don't see that. But what I do see is him being a top 15 type center that maybe not individual talent-wise is that, but because of the players he's playing with and the opportunities within the archetypes of those two guys, I think it'll position him to be successful on both ends of the floor. So I can see him being a top 15 guy and him pushing the needle in terms of adding value for them this season. But
we'll
top 5 is outlandish though. But
we'll see.
I'm all for guys infusing confidence in the people, but that can't come from fans. That has to come from the internal.
If you're watching on TV, the party always continues over at gophnx.com. It's time for overtime, which, oh, God, I just got this vision. Tomorrow's game's going to go to overtime. Oh, it's going to be gross.
In Palm Beach.
Oh, it's going to be gross. Dude, DeAndre Ayton is going to get run out of town. There's no way that this works.
I mean,
there's no way that this works.
There's a different type of pressure and spotlight that comes with playing the 5 for that particular team.
For those players, dude.
Yeah, with those 2 players at the top of the
Dude.
roster, but for that franchise, there's a precedence that comes with playing center for the freaking Los Angeles Lakers. We're talking about multiple all-time greats and champions that have donned that position for that team across decades. It feels like centuries because they've been playing for so long, but decades.
Dude, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. This guy is going to say something after putting up like 10 and 8. He's going to say something in like December, and all of Lakers Twitter is just going to die. They're just going to die. It's going to be really funny. I can't wait to watch that. I personally wish Ayton success, but now that he's on the Lakers, it's really hard for me to not root for his team failure. So I don't think he's going to handle it well. We'll see if he can handle. Come on, Mala Watch. I need a poster. I need a Ryan Dunn poster on DeAndre Ayton. Oso Iguodala poster. Devin Booker poster on DeAndre Ayton.
What did Book say last time they played? Like, I hope he plays like that more often.
So funny. DA was hooping for Portland. He had a really good game.
He was hooping and talking.
And Book goes, yeah, I'm really happy for him. I would love to see him do that every game. Which is just cinema. I want to do a round of OTTLE before we get out of here. I think the people deserve it. I think we deserve it. And honestly, I'm mad that Steven got it so quickly last time.
You mad?
And maybe, yes, it made me upset. Also, I didn't love the fact that we did 2 college guys. But if you don't know what OTTLE is, I'll hand the reins over to Fisherton, and he can let you know what it is.
All right, OTTLE's our game we played yesterday for the first time. Basically an easy trivia game. We'll get it pulled up right here. Here we are. The beautiful little screen I made. You can see that +4 in the top right. Each question is going to be increasingly easier, going from hard to easy. +4, you get it on the first try. That's the hardest question, and so on down to +1.
So far, the farthest we've gotten is what, 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steven's too smart and Aiden's too smart.
Yes.
For my game.
Let's hide the chat. Everybody hide the chat.
Yes.
Chat, you can give your guesses for sure, but we can't look at you. Sorry. All right. Ayrton, Mr. Freckled Mamba. Let's start our we'll do just one round of OTTLE. Just a little taste.
All right, let's get into it. First question. In my freshman college season, my averages were 7.5 points per game, 5.5 rebounds per game, 2.4 blocks per game, which led the conference.
Freshman season, to me, implies there's been multiple seasons. Because when he said it before, my college averages were, this is my freshman season averages. Now, he's done 2 modern players, which means you would think that we would think that he wouldn't go with another modern player. But I think he's trying to mess with us.
I'm going Eric Bledsoe.
2 blocks per game, Eric Bledsoe.
See what he was doing in college, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if he had 2.4 blocks per game.
See about it.
Tyus Jones. No, I'm kidding. Give me, you know what? I'm going to go with another current player. Give me Oso. Oso Iguodala.
Incorrect for both of you guys.
Okay, at least he got it wrong.
Moving on to our next question, which
That's
is,
crazy.
after being drafted to Phoenix, I played for 9 other teams in my 16-year NBA career.
PJ Tucker.
Incorrect.
Oh.
After being drafted by the Suns, he played for 9 other teams in his career.
16-year career. The career's over.
The career is over, and I'll also give you another hint on this one. He spent his most time in his career consecutively with the Suns.
Wait.
Right after he was
I already guessed. Don't give him more hints.
You can take another one if you want.
No, that's not how this works.
I ain't tripping.
You go.
I'm secure about mine. I ain't tripping.
Go ahead. No, please answer. Please.
16-year career, 9 years or 9 other teams after being drafted by the Suns. I feel like this one is an OG type of player. I'm kind of drawing a blank on names. I think it's the 16 that's hanging me up more than anything.
I'm trying to think like old school.
That's what I'm trying to get to as well.
I got an old school guy. I don't know if he played for this many teams though. But
Chat, keep sending your answers, and I'm looking.
Are
No one's
they-
got it right yet?
no, they haven't got it right yet. Drafted by Phoenix. Was Truck Robinson drafted by Phoenix? Because I'm trying to think like old school.
Mm-hmm.
Played with Phoenix a lot. He's a big man. I don't know if he played for 16 years. I don't know if he played for 9 other teams.
Mm-hmm. This is why I asked for a condensing of eras, or at least
Yeah. Like OTTLE 60s, OTTLE 70s,
Right,
OTTLE 80s.
Right.
I mean, but
The goal of
running away from the grind.
goal of this is to get you guys to the final couple of questions.
Yeah. You got to get a guess on this one, and then we can move on to the next question. Unless you just pull it out of your ass again.
I don't feel comfortable answering this one just because
Come on.
I'm just so unsure. I'm so unsure about this one.
16-year career.
And 9 other teams.
As
played
the,
for
as the mastermind of this game, I don't require answers every round. So if you want to pass, you can pass.
Oh,
That's a third of the teams in the league.
Ooh.
I'm good. I'll pass on this one.
Okay.
All right,
go
we'll
to
move
the
on
next
to the
question.
next
You got an
question.
answer?
No, I've already had 2 in this. Let me get the next one and see.
Go for a third one.
Then this
Go
next
for it.
one, I think we'll give it away.
Okay,
but
Sean Marion?
Incorrect.
Okay.
Not Sean Marion.
I didn't think Matrix played for that many teams.
No, I didn't think so. I didn't think he
They
played for that long. and I think the
Miami,
blocks
yeah,
and stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Miami, Dallas, Phoenix.
Yep.
Aiden, I
Cleveland.
see you, and it is not Markieff Morris. No.
Mark
All right,
Morris did
we're
not
moving on
average
to the
2
next
blocks per game
question.
in college.
Here we
Did not
go.
play 16 years.
For +2, my twin brother and I both played 15 plus years in the NBA.
Espo, we just got done talking about. It's Robin Lopez.
Oh,
It is Robin Lopez.
Let's go.
oh,
Let's go.
For 2
That's
points,
great.
Steven knocks it.
that's great.
Robin Lopez.
Steven's gonna just beat my ass in OTTLE every single time. God, yeah, Rolo played for a long time, man.
Mm-hmm.
Long time. That was a good one.
A surprisingly long career.
That was the best
Yeah.
one yet.
Rolo's
That was the best
been around
one.
for a minute. He had some fun with all of the teams he's been a part of too.
Yeah. What was the final question?
Yeah, I'm curious.
The final question for most of these is just their silhouette.
Oh, that would have given it away.
They
for me.
both went to what college?
Stanford.
Stanford,
Yeah.
yeah.
He went to Stanford.
2.4 blocks per game in his freshman season, led the
Okay.
conference in the Pac-12.
Okay.
Nice. Did anybody in the chat get it right? I mean, obviously before.
I wasn't checking right when Steven answered, but Aiden put Robin Lopez, and because of yesterday, I'm inclined to believe that
That
he
Aiden
might have
got
hit
it.
it before the buzzer. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Another great
Man, I
game
should
of
have got
OTTLE.
that. I should have got that at 3.
I think we all should.
Once we got to 9, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
But you know, the thing is, when you're on the spot in this game, you're like, your brain doesn't work the same. Like, especially like when you're like
Mhm.
sitting, you're just like, you're like thinking, and, like you miss very obvious things.
Mhm.
So yeah, you're like, oh well, that was stupid. Anyways, thank you all for indulging in another game of OTTLE. We'll continue to be doing that as the season progresses and we have some fun here. Of course, preseason action tomorrow night, Mercury action tomorrow night. You can tap in with Steven for PHNX Mercury. The tip-off is at 5. We'll also be doing a watch-along here for both games. I'm going to be in the building for the Mercury game, so I'll be there cheering my little heart out. for the best team in the state, in the Phoenix Mercury. So that'll be really exciting. And then a post-game show, of course. And you can get the coverage at PHNX_Mercury.
We also got a 5 p.m. show coming up at the top of the hour.
Oh, wow.
Today.
Well, there you go. So we should definitely get out of here.
50 minutes, yeah.
You can definitely get out of here.
Good.
You can follow the show at PHNX_Suns. That's on Twitter. That's on Instagram. If you would have known about the Jalen Green injury, the Mark Williams being held out of everything, the naming rights, Ryan Dunn's third-year option, you would know about all of that in the real time, in the actual moment. We keep you up to date here on PHNX Suns and PHNX Sports. I feel like we're getting growth because Charles said, great job, Steven, and said Erik meh. And I feel like Erik meh is the nicest thing. I think it's the nicest thing Charles ever said about me. So we appreciate Charles for the first time in chat. We appreciate you. You can follow the creator of OTTLE himself. You can follow Ayrton, a.k.a. Fisherton, a.k.a. Juice Man.
That man works hard.
Mamba.
That man works very hard.
Calm down.
He came in and he got immediate all types of trades happening out the wazoo. There was no integration. It was thrown into the fire. So and it's pretty much been on fire since then. So shout out Ayrton for his efforts.
Fisherton. It's just like the thing is the nickname doesn't come from anything. It just sounds good. I just called him Fisherton once for some reason. And it just was awesome. You can follow him at Freckled Mamba. We'll see you all at the morgue at some point this season.
No, that sounds crazy.
You can follow me at ERIKRUBY. And remember, as Meatloaf says in chat, Luka a hoe.
We all silly like the mayor.